What's up?
So,
not to being overweight by eating too many calories or not burning enough of them off. And so unless you're underweight, exceedingly skinny, single-digit body fat, you're eating enough. Now, there are some examples of guys who don't eat enough. Tristan Lee, single-digit body fat, notorious for not eating enough food. If he ate more food, I'm sure he would have more muscle. But most are eating enough. I would estimate 95 3 months and you haven't gained any weight, you probably need to consume more calories. But for everyone else, you're probably eating enough.
I'd say 90% of the time, keep eating. And then for the 10% of the guys who are doing a little too much, then you gotta chill out.
There's no way that only 10% of people are overeating. The majority of people are overeating. Over 50% of America is obese. By definition, over 50% of people are overeating. And do you think that those 50% are overeating broccoli, rice, chicken, steak, tilapia? Or do you think that those people are mostly overeating chips, candy, cakes, muffins, and crumble? Take your pick, but I'm betting you're eating a lot of junk, if in fact you're overweight.
I think these microwavable rice packets are sweet just because they're quick, instant, 30, or I guess a few minutes in the microwave. And I just like them.
That's something I also eat when I'm at Mepsigram's house because she doesn't have a chef like Coach Greg, and so I actually have to cook my own food. And so I'll oftentimes eat the rice, I'll eat that with chicken, peas, and so on. Very good idea. Now, I prefer to cook basmati rice. I add some bouillon to make it taste a little bit better. Perhaps if you want to get a little bit fancy, you can get my cookbook 3.1 and eat eggy rice. Half the calories of just plain rice with way more protein, and it tastes better. And so if you're interested in amazing and delicious recipes, that oftentimes the fiber and calories listed on the label is incorrect. Remember, labels are allowed to lie by up to 20%. Oftentimes you're going to say, hey, there's no calories in here, but yet they're lying. And so when I see fiber, I count it as 2 calories per gram. Some people, they count it as 0, but remember, it depends on the source of fiber. To make it simple, whenever you see fiber, count it as 2 calories, and more often than not, you're going to get it correct.
If you're trying to feel down, anytime you see like a calorie smart version of something, that might be your tip, right? Swap a Coke with a Coke Zero.
I mean, anyone that consumes regular Coke Pop, you deserve to be fat. I mean, and I'm not being conscious, you deserve it. As in, you earned it, you want it, you love being fat. And that is included in pre-workouts, all pasteurized or unpasteurized, you're gonna be able to absorb about 95 to 97%. And so here's my advice. Makes no difference which you choose to eat, crack the egg or get it from the carton, but you need to cook it. If you don't cook it, you're only gonna get about 50%. And so simply drinking the eggs like Derek from More Plates, More Days used to do, and not cooking them, well, that is an inferior method. Now, everyone is so smart, but he's not smart enough to sell actual Ajuga turkistanica from Uzbekistan. Well, perhaps he's so smart they continue to scam people by selling you cyanosis, which is literally from China. You can believe me, you can think I'm lying. Do I look like I'm lying? I have the receipts, I proved it. I've tested this more than once, and I have chain of custody showing exactly what it is. And so you can get Coach Greg's HGLT supplements, Turk or Turk Platinum, or you can get Turkplex, which, hey, it doesn't claim to have turkey calories.
The only thing that sucks is with the 96%, they don't make like a big 4-pound pack. They make like 1 pound increments.
You know, it really sucks is he doesn't get to buy 96% in bulk because, hey, this is much more expensive. So Sam, he's on a budget. He has to be very careful. He's got to shop at Costco with his parents and so on. I don't believe it. Sam is making millions of dollars.
Like, I'm not the kind of guy to like make muscle burgers or little individual patties or anything. This is just going to be 5 pounds all at once into a stove pot.
I mean, you know, that's how I recommend. If you're cooking on your own, you don't got time for making the fancy meatballs and patties and stuff. Cook it in bulk.
Stir, cook on low until it's all totally cooked through. And then strain that.
You hear that? He strains it still to remove some of the fat.
I do always try to make sure I have at least the basic components of what my meals are going to be for the day totally prepped, or at least one step away.
Yeah, I never did the whole Tupperwares are all lined up underneath this lunch exact. I never did that. If my weight has gone up too much, I need to eat less. And so if 3 weeks go by and I'm 195 pounds, you're eating too much. The bulk is too fast. If you're, of course, using performance enhancing drugs, the still weight's going to go up by leaps and bounds. And so the amount of weight you're gaining has to be reflective of your current goals and expectations. You can't just say, I want to put on 40 pounds in the next 5 months because there's Superman. You have to be realistic. Nor can you say, hey, Hussein Farhat put on 45 pounds in a couple of years. I want to do the same. Most people can't do this. And so set realistic goals and expectations. If your goal is to lose weight, the scale weight has to go down. Every single week does that? No. It generally has to trade down, and if you're trying to...
I've actually been doing this every single time I've opened this phone to test availability, and so far, I don't know what Samsung did, but this thing is holding up really well. I will say this isn't actually Samsung, this is Samsung. I probably wouldn't do this if it was mine, but they don't have to know that. I've done that hundreds of times now, this thing still snaps open. Probably can't do that over the microphone. But even considering that thinner hinge and the thinner form factor, I'm actually really surprised at how well it's handled the abuse that I've been giving it. I've always said like the folds are durable. They're more durable than some of the other competition that I've used. If that's something that you care about, I definitely don't think that this is going to be a problem, but time will tell, I guess. Anyways though, when you actually open it, the display is now larger, brighter, and wider. And apparently, the actual glass is stronger than remove the S Pen support. Now, I'll touch on that in a minute.
Hindi Sara, hindi naman importante kung mapapaliwanag niya o hindi niya mapapaliwanag yung mga programa niya. Pag upo pa lang niya doon, talagang tutastahin na siya ng mga company at nitambaluslos. Yun yun. Mapaganda, pangit, kung ano man yung programang ilalatag ni Sara, pangit po lahat sa kanila yan. Walang palulusutin yung mga aso na tamba dyan. Kung maaari naman na bigyan ng 1 peso budget, ang Office of the Vice President, kung maaari lang, gagawin mo nila yan. Mga walang yamo yung mga aso na tambaluslos na yan. DOJ, FDA, House of Representatives, Anti-Claire, mainstream media, nagtutulong-tulong ako para matabunan. Itong pagkakatalagan ng pangalan ni Bongak sa pagkakagugol nitong si Paulo Tantoco dyan sa Estados Unidos. Pero bago natin pag-usapan ang mga pinakalinis na kaganapan. Huwag ko kayo masyadong magpahalata na pati ang dolomite niyan gagamitin nyo para matabunan ang issue nitong si Lisa. Ang obserbasyon, lalo kapag tag-ulan, ay hindi kayang i-convey. Kaya naiipon. Ano? Yan ang problema, mga kababayan. Ngayon, siyempre, nagsalita na yung isang congressman, di ba? Nagsalita na siya na iimbestigahin niya yung ano na yan, dolomite. Yan naging programa na yan, ito si dati Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Lahat na lang imbestigahan nyo. Lahat na lang siraan nyo. Lahat na lang naging programa ni dati Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Idurugin nyo. Walang problema yan, pero hindi pa rin natin matatago ang katotohanan. Ika nga ni Tatay Digong, Dolomite Beach is beautiful. Period. At ang matindi dito, pinadaan sa sewerage treatment plant yung mga tubig na tinatapon dyan sa Manila Bay. Kaya daw hindi kinakaya. Kaya lumalala ang pagbabaha. Ibang klase dito. Walang yaong talaga itong si Artes. Okay, kung sa tingin nyo, yung nananahimik na dolomite ang may kasalanan, hindi yung mga flood control na hinahanap ng mga kababayan natin. Mag-iisang taon na pagkatapos pinagyabang ni Marcos Jr., yung mga flood control na yung hanggang sa ngayon, di pa rin natin makita. Imbis na hanapin natin yung flood control, sisihin natin yung dolomite. Ito pa ho mga kababayan. O yan, ano na naman ba to? Sa kadahilan ng release revenue. Dito tayo sa release revenue.
Isip Presidente na tinanggi. Pera sila ng administrasyon lalo po sa usapin ng budget at live plus sa TV5 Media Center. Si News 5 Plus Correspondent Maricel Talini. Masik, anong sagot ang plaso sa gising ng OBP? Masik.
Pero sa tingin ko, yung naging tayo sa president sa Duterte, hindi ko sa tingin ko niya, hindi ka naman pa rin magiging ano niya dito, magiging niya dito. Hindi ko niya bigyan sa hindi ko sa magiging pagbabago na dyan. Ilalakad niya kung ano yung mga programa ng OPP, pangalan ng sila ano mga nagawa natin, di ba mga pag-excited yung mga congressman sa House of Representatives. Kung ba, hindi ko naman natin sana, nandiyan si Congressman Paolo Maculit, ito naman yan. Di ba, karami ng mga matino yan, hindi ba natin edibig na meron, pinuwi naman yan. Yung iba lang na meron mga sakit, ito naman mga sakit. Hindi na kailangan ipensahan yung yan. Kasi hindi pa sa umuupo dyan sa bulwagan na yan, eh tapos na usapan. So maniwala kayo sa hindi. Hindi pa nag-uumpisa ang meeting, pag-uusap dyan sa budget ng Office of the Vice President. That would na yan.
Kung ibang isa ba, ayon kay Executive Secretary Bersamin, pwede ma-aresto si Senator Paco de la Rosa kung maglabas ang arestwa ng ICC.
Hindi natin pag-uusapan yan. Hindi natin pag-uusapan yan. Si Bersamin, dito niya, di ba yung pag-uusapan? Pag-uusapan natin, pero may Paulo, ano, nagtutulong din niya, di ba? O, secretary. Kanina, may presto niya si Boy. O,
Done.
Talagang tulong nila. magiging matututi niya. Kasi napakapangit na
See you next time.
yan nangyari.